Hello everyone, welcome to Great Online Training. This is Naidu, I'm a SAS trainer and programmer. In this video, I will explain what is the retain statement and how we can use this retain, how to create a sequence numbering in SAS, how to create a sequence numbering based on the by group, and how we can do the cumulatives of your sequence number, the sum, vertical sum, how we can do and how we can store it. At the same time, how this particular retain concept used in LOCF concept in a clinical sector. Let's talk about all those things together. So in this particular video, so let's get started. It's a very important one in your real time and how we use this. It's all about a retain concept. How you retain the values. Let's say I'm just writing it. What I'm writing, data, my data set name ABCD, input X and Y, and code statement. We have some data, something like this. Do you think any wrong in this? It's a straightforward, right? Is there anything else? Work library, go to ABCD data set. How it is? This one. So X and Y is the value. What happened, I'm using a statement called here retain data AAA set ABCD, retain Z as a 0. So initially Z value I'm just 0, Z equal to Z plus 1 I'm writing it. So now if you just see X and Y only we have it. Now the Z column will be created and now you just open the AA. Can you just tell me what happened exactly? What you have done the
Yeah.
change? What happened?
So, first of all, it was z equals to 0, and then we add z equals to 0 plus 1. So, 0 plus 1, 1, 1 plus 1, 2, 1 plus 2, 3. So, it's come to 1 to 8 in a z column.
That's right. So retain statement, it will retain the values of your previous value. So initially it will hold the value as a 0. Understand? Okay. If you just see and try to write a background of it. So if you're writing it, so this is your X column value. This is your Y column value. Now this is going to be Z. So this is my X and this is my, this is my X and this is going to be my Y column. So now first initially 1, 2, 3, whatever it is there, we are not worried about it as it is. Keep it that around 6 records. Let it be. Y values also somewhere 20, 20, 30, or maybe 40, 60, or maybe 80, or something like that. Let it be. So what I'm interested around 6 records is there, right? Z value initial 0. Whenever it's a 0 plus the value which is there is Z plus 1 means the first record, what it happens, so 0 plus 1 and the first record. It's 1. Now the Z value will be 1 now. For the next record, it automatically stores 1 plus 1 equal to 2. Now on the second record, my Z value is 2. What is my third record? 2 plus 1, 3. That is going to be happen accordingly this particular retain statement. You see the definition of retain. Retain statement simply copies the retaining value by telling SAS not to reset the variable to missing at the beginning of each iteration of the data step. If you would not use the retain statement, the SAS would retain the missing values. Let's say you have a missing value at somewhere. Actually, you have a missing value for my Z actually. Am I right or wrong? All values missing only. But when it is missing, what happened? It replaces with 0. Okay. Then I'm just, see, if I'm not writing any retain statement, Z equal to Z, if I write it, what happened? What is going to be happen? What is the value? See, everywhere 0. It won't give the missing value because whatever the value stores, if there is no update for it, it's a still 0 as it is. That's it. Without writing that, then if you want it, then you can write it in option Z plus 1. Then you will get it, this value, and now you can see AA data set. Perfect. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, something like that. You are getting it right. The next one is here. I'm just writing data. AA is your data set name. Set ABCD Z plus 1. It's the same concept like this one. I'm using retain statement here, but I'm not using a retain statement here in this program. So this time what I'm doing it, I'm taking a data from the ABCD only, but I don't want to use retain statement. Without retain, can we able to do the same? Yes, you can. Don't write Z equal to Z plus 1 or anything. Don't write it, just Z plus 1. Automatically the initial value of Z will be missing value plus 1. The first record is 1, 2, 3, 4, like that. It will keep on created. So this is the sequence variable creation in our SAS, how we do that. Can you just see that? Now you just go there. Is it created, the sequence variable? Yes, we can do that. We can do the same way, one more method also, without using this particular retain also, this one also, we can do the same. Z equal to underscore n underscore semicolon. That's it. Automatically, the line number you are storing as a new column name. Underscore n underscore means observation number. Now, if you want to see, AA column will have, can you just tell me, is it correct? Is the same again?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
You can use retain, without retain, and without what I can increment, we can use the column this one also. But the advantage with this above method, if you want to increment every time 1, you can use it. If you want to increment every time 5, you can do that. Z plus 5 means initially what is the value? 5. Then it's a keep on adding it now. If you see, initially 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, something like that, you will get it. But if you want to get that type of things here, you won't get it. It's always line number. This is your increment value here and here also. If you want, you can give the increment values. If I'm writing Z plus 10, then you will get the increment values. If you want, you can get that. You see that? Now go to your AA data set, you'll get the increment values. Making sense? Yes?
Yes, sir.
Good. And now we'll move on to the cumulatives. Okay, what I want it, you are getting an ABCD data set of my Z variable, but I want it a cumulative of my Y. Okay, initially Z value is 0. Okay, but I want to do the cumulative. What is that cumulative? Y value plus Z value, I want to do the cumulative. So you just see in my ABCD, what is my Y value? 25. 25 plus 0 of my Z. What is that? 25.
25.
Okay, 25 plus my
28.
28 plus 25. What is that? 53. Somewhere,
53.
right?
Yeah.
Like that. 53 plus 27. Somewhere, I am not
1.
calculating it. Let's see. So that is what going to happen. The cumulative score, if you want to get it. Okay, what we are doing it right. So data, your data set name AA, set ABCD, retain Z 0. You are initially assigning the value as a 0. Z equal to Z plus Y. I'm just doing it here. What happened now?
So Y value we are getting
Y value plus
Z
your initial Z value.
plus
Yeah.
So now if you just see AA data set, we will have it. First value is 25 plus 0, 25 only. But 25 is already there in my Z right now, plus 28, 53. 53 is already there, plus 27, 80. The total value, if I want to do the sum of the total records, is the sum, this one. The total sum of all the values, if you want, you can get it. Generally, if you want to get the sum, okay, in our real time, so we can write a sum statement. We don't have a function to write a sum, right, in real time. So if I write it, I'm just writing proc print. Okay, so I'm just writing data equal to your data set name. What is that? A. So semicolon and sum. I'm writing it. Sum of my y. If I want to do the sum, yes, I'll get it as same. Okay, but the problem is, you just see this. The sum you will get it as a 26. 226. You are getting it the sum, but this will be into report. But I want to store this as a into my data set. Can we just store this? Is it possible? We can't do storing the data something like this, but we need it sometimes to data to be stored into your data set, something like this. then in those cases what you need to do is you need to depend on this one in a retain statement will solve our issue. Understand? The sum you are getting only for your output window only. It won't be stored anywhere. Understand what I'm saying? Why we are learning this concept?
Yeah, yes, sir. Yeah.
Okay. Now we'll move on to the serial number by group wise. Let's say I'm sorting the ABCD now by XYs. You just go there and looking into the ABCD data set. What happened now? ABCD wise we have a groups 1 1 1 1 1 2 2 2 2 2 3 3 3 somewhere you have it. But I want to give a sequence number for all the ones. The first one 1 2 3 for all the ones. Again 2 how many times repeated? 3 times. Again 1 2 3. 3 how many times repeated? Only 1 and 2. I wanted that. Then you can do that. So by just mentioning it, data your data set name AA set ABCD retain Z. Okay, I'm just retaining a value Z. I'm not assigning any value for that for a time being. Default, if I'm not assigning it, default what? It's missing. So what I'm just telling my SAS, if first dot of my X, I sorted the data based on my X variable wise. My first dot of X, you just see in your data set, according to you, the first data of your X is, in this case, it is 1. The first data of your X in this case, it is 2. The first data of your X in this case, it is 3. 1 and 2 and 3, you will get it. So now I'm telling my SAS, if it is 1, Z equal to 1, else Z equal to Z plus 1. Except first record, remaining all the record, add Z as a plus 1 every time. First record of mine is going to be, I'm just creating a Z now. The first record of mine 1 is 1. The 1 will be assigned. Except first record, remaining all the records for this particular group, all the remaining ones, I want to write it as a 2 and 3 and something like that. The sequence number easily will be created so by using else condition. If Z equal to 1, the first record, else Z equal to Z plus 1. Now you execute it and run the program. You see that now. Go to your new data set of your AA and open it. Can you just see that? Sequence number of my 1, 1, 2, 3. Sequence number of 2, 1, 2, 3. Sequence number of 3, 1, 2. Got it? Is it correct? How many times 1 is there in the data? 3 times. How many times 2 is there in the data? 3 times. How many times 3 is there in this data here? It's a 2 times. Got it? Making sense? No? Yes?
Yes, sir. Yes,
Okay.
sir.
Good. Now we'll do the same again. This time we will not take the data from my previous value of my Z. I'll try to take the sum of my Y values. You just see in the ABCD data set, if you just see the Y values of my all the earlier what I have done the sum for all my 1, 2, 3 also. But I want it a sum of my each group wise. Only one sum how much it is. Only 2 sum how much it is. And only 3 sum how much it is. Understand? That's what I'm trying to do. Let's see. I'm writing it in this particular program. Data AA1, set AA, I'm copying it. Retain Z1 as a new variable, I'm creating it here. If first dot of your X, then Z1 equal to Y, I'm writing it. So initially itself, what value I'm taking it in my first dot? Earlier, I'm just not taking anything here, and here also I'm not taking it. But initial value, I'm taking it as a 1. I'm just manually assigning it. But here, let it be whatever the Y values you have it in the data that I'm assigning to my Z. So else, except first record, remaining all the records, Z1 equal to Z1 plus my Y record. So Z1 value of mine first record is, let's say Y value is 20. So that Z1 value also 20. So next time the Y value is 30, the 20 plus 30, you can get it here. That again, 20 plus 30 plus next record is 30 somewhere. So that 50 plus 30, 80, something like that, you will get it. But it will be calculated by X wise, not all the group wise. It is only within a subcategory of your X wise. If you want to get the data, you can get it. Now you see that AA1 as a data set is created. You see all the 3 records. See, the first initial value of my Y is 25 plus 25 plus 28, 53, 53 plus 27, 80. It will stop there because all the one sum is this one. Okay, all the 2 sum, if you want to get it, see, this is all your 2 sum. Initial value of my 2 is 23, 23 plus 35, 58. 58 plus 34, it's going to be 92. And again, this one also you are getting it. Is it correct?
Yes, sir. Yeah.
Within a group wise, if you want to do the cumulative, if you want it, yes, you can take that. Okay, I'm just writing it. Another data which is there with me, data ABCD, input statement, gender, and salary. I'm just creating a new data set. Now I'm writing it proxart data equal to ABCD by gender. Now I'm writing it. What I'm writing it? Data temp is your data set name. Set ABCD by gender wise. You are sorting it. Retain. I'm retaining a new column name as a tot. That means total. If first dot of gender. Okay, according to my data wise, all the females will be first, then followed by the males according to me. All the females first, then followed by the males. Then within that, what I'm saying, first dot of your gender, then dot equal to salary. That means all the first person of my female. Okay, so the value of my female first person dot is the new variable value equal to this particular salary. Salary is 23. You will get it. Else dot equal to dot plus salary. It's the same concept like above, but we are doing something in a salary wise. But I'll show you some interesting stuff also at the last step. So else dot equal to dot plus salary. Okay, but what I want it, I don't want it sum of all the people data in one data set. I need a last person sum up to the last person. What is the sum of my total salary and what is the sum of my female salary total, male salary total? I want it. So I'm writing last dot concept, last dot of gender. First dot I am writing to assign the values. Last dot I am picking up only those records. Without writing this step, what happens? We'll see the first how the data set looks like. You just create it, run this, you're done. Go to your temp data set, open it. See what happened? All the females by sum in the last record you have a 72. Okay, all the males by sum in the last record is 78. Only these two records is required for me because last dot of my female and last dot of my male only required. I don't want the remaining data to be displayed anymore into my new data set. Then I'm writing a condition. If last dot of your gender, I'm writing it, then automatically you will get it only the last values of your data. Go to your temp. See, female last value is 72. That means all the female sum is 72. All the male sum is 78. Is it correct? Making some? Making clear? No? Yes? Any difficulties in this? Good. Now we'll move on to the new one here. What I'm just trying to do is data set name SAS LOCF. I'm sorting the data based on the sex variable wise. Okay. So sex variable wise, the data is sorted around 19 records. We have it in this data set, which we already know. So the DS data set, if you open it, 19 records, which is there. Okay, keep it that aside. What I'm writing it, data, your new data set name DS and set DS. If you want, you can write it your new data set name also DS1. If you want, you can do that. By sex wise, whatever you have done, the 3 steps you repeated here. Retain cumulative height I'm taking and cumulative weight also, because if you see in this column of my DS, so there we have a height also, we have a weight also. What I want to do, all the cumulatives of height and all the cumulatives of weight is required for what? Based on the sex wise I want it. That is your gender column wise. If first dot of your sex, then cumulative height equal to height. I'm just doing it. Else, cumulative height of else if that is not correct, cumulative height of height, I'm writing it here. What does this mean? The initial value of my first record, I'm taking the first as a height. From there onwards, remaining all are, I'm just doing a sum. Again, first dot of your sex, then cumulative weight equal to weight, you are doing it. Else cumulative weight equal to cumulative weight plus weight, I'm just doing it. Execute it and run the program. You're correct. And now you run it. I think I'm done. Go to your new data set of your DS1, which is there. You see that the cumulatives of your height and cumulatives of weight. You just do one thing and hide this variable. Okay, you just see the first cumulative height. First one is 56 within a female. 56 plus 60.5, 121, and finally if you see all the females height is this one around 545.3, you will get it. all the females height and all the males height combined together, the cumulative of all the weights also you will get it. You just see that I have it hidden the height also. Let me just unhide that. You just see that all the weight wise 84 is the initial, 84 plus 180. What is that value? What is my weight value? So here at somewhere you can see weight is 84 initially, then next is 98. So 84 plus 98 is going to be somewhere 182. You'll get it. So you will get the cumulatives. Something like this also is possible by using a return statement. Okay, so let's say I have a data here. I'm just writing it. Data AA2 drop I return Z. First dot of your X, then X equal to 1. I think this one is the same. So if you want it earlier, what happened? You have done the sum of all the Y values, all the Z value sum. You took it, but I want it only the last record as a new data set is required. Okay, by default, what happened if I run this particular program? It will take the data from that particular ABCD and you will get the data set something like AA2, but you something, just hold on a second. ABCD is there, return is there. First ABCD is there or not the data set? ABCD I changed. Okay, first let me run my data set here. I think ABCD, let me run it one more time. Okay, it's there now with all the values of male and females wise, the information, gender and why gender and salary, is it the same? Gender and salary, not the gender and salary. We will take this one. ABCD X and Y, we are running it now. So ABCD data set is there, X value and Y value. What I want to do, I'm doing the same like a Z only here. So I'm just taking the same like Z, but the Z value default you will get sum of all the Z values that you already seen. It's not nothing new here. Okay, ABCD, if you just go to the AU2 data set, so you are getting it here. But what I'm saying here, Z equal to, you are getting it, the sum of all the Z values 1, 2, 3, you will get it here, and again, so you will get it here. But if you want to get all the last records as a separate data sets, I'm just writing if last dot of your X, then output. So all the sums of each values, all the 1 sum and all the 2 sum and all 3 sum, you see that the last record of my 1, the last record of my 2, and the last record of my 3 as a separate. If you want, you can get that also. And now we'll try to do 2 variables filling thing right now, not only just one. What I'm writing, I'm trying to create a new data set name as a temp, input ID and ID1 and score also. I'm creating it here. Temp data set is created here. So ID is there, ID1 also there, and score also there. There is nothing new in this. Now I'm writing it data temp2 set temp, you're copying the values by ID and as well as ID1, 2 variables also. I'm just using it. Why I have not done the sorting concept? Because both variables also in a proper sorting order. That's the reason why I'm not doing anything by. Otherwise, if your variables are not in a proper order, you need to make sure to write a one more step before this particular 148 line. Proc sort data equal to your data set name of temp and by ID and ID1 you need to write it. So now I'm writing it here. If first dot of your ID or first dot of ID1, either of one, that means it can be first dot of this one or it can be first dot of ID1 also. Both, anything of this. Then n equal to 1 you need to make sure. The first observation will be 1. Else n equal to n plus 1. On the first record, if it is I, this variable depends on this, all the sums you will get it. You see that now, actually what happens, in this case, you see what happened here, ID will be 1 and here also 1, up to here it's a 1 and 2 you will get it. But the next ID will be 1, ID1 will be 2, then it again starts from, see, another thing you got it. Again, starting from 2 onwards, it will get it. 2 and 1, 1 will be the 1, 2. Again, 2 and 2 is going to be 1. That means what basically I'm doing is, I'm trying to derive something based on the 2 variables, not only just a single variable. If it is a 1, 1, it is a 1. It is 1 1 again one more time, then it is going to be second time. If it is 1 2, that is the first time, one time. 1 2 again second time, then two times. Got it? The n is the column, you can get it to get the uniqueness. Understand? So you can get that. Even this times this type of things also we can able to handle it. And now I have a data with me, grades. So grades data set is here. You open it. The grades data set is ID number is there, L name is there, grade type also there, and grade also there. Now my interest is here. I'm just displaying the data as it is in my output window. There is nothing special here. I'm writing the grades. I'm keeping only E1, E2, E3, E4 only. I'm keeping it. Okay, the grades which is required for me. So now you go to my data set called exams. Will have only those grades of E1, E2, E3, E4 only. Next, data lowest. I'm writing it. Renaming of low type equal to G type. I'm just writing it actually. You just see in your data set name of your exams. If you just open the data set, there is a variable called here. I'm just writing it. What is that? G type. I'm just changing to a new column name as a low type. I'm writing it. Set exam by ID number. Retain low grade and low type is the two variable. I'm writing it. First dot of my ID number, you just see in your data, first dot of my ID number of my 10, you just consider in the E1 column. And then low grade equal to grade. So the low grade equal to, I'm just writing the grade value 78. I'm just doing it. Same thing again, low grade equal to minimum of my low grade and grade. So within these two values, which is the minimum value, I'm just keeping it here in the both. Okay, again, if low grade equal to grade equal to low grade, then low type equal to G type here, and if last dot of ID, then output. And you just see this actually basically by come to the output, we will come to here. So the grade type is here, you are getting 69. Just compare with original data what is there in your exams. So try to compare the output. What happened now? So here name is Smith, you are getting it. So for him, the grade is, so here you can see the Smith last grade is going to be 69. The lowest grade for him is 69, and the grade type is going to be E4. Okay, you are getting it. So what happened? So the data, it is just picking up what is the lowest value for each. If you want to identify, then you can write it an option called minimum. The same way you can write an option called maximum also. Something like that we can all automatically write it in this way also. And one more column is a retain statement. I'm just doing it here with LOCF concept in real time. What is LOCF? Last observation carry forward, what we do in our clinical trials using SAS. Let's say I have a data. Actually, the data is not there. First of all, the LOCF data, where it is LOCF. I have that LOCF data at somewhere. Let me just first bring that. So this is the data of mine. I'm just writing a concept here. Data lab is your data set name. Use subject ID. That means the patient, whoever is a clinical trial, he is participating. The name is use subject ID. The lab test code. The lab test is WBC test. They are doing it here. RBC test. They are doing it here. And as well as a visit. A visit means how many times the patient is visited to the hospital and the value each time. The 101 patient, when they go for WBC a test, and on the first time, that means 0 time means it's a baseline, before baseline itself I can say. So that time it's a 10. For the first time he went, second time he went to the hospital, it is 20. Third time, but third and fourth time he didn't come to the hospital. Now client is asking me to fill that 30 to be carry forward here and here, because when you are taking any average or anything, what happens, sometimes the mean values will go down if you have missing values, because by default mean will be calculated only for the non-missing values. WBC wise it didn't come, but still you are expecting that particular mean to be calculated with a previous record. Whatever they got it the last time come to the hospital, that 30 to be carry forward here and here, then how we will do? Again, in this case, at the same patient, one patient RBC value, second time is there, but third time he didn't come to the hospital, or due to some reason it's missing. This 300 is carry forwarding to the next. Then how we do that? This particular concept we call it as LOCF, last observation carry forward. How we do that? First, make sure to sort the data. Sorting is very important when you do a concept of LOCF. This retain and LOCF concept are very near to this one. It is whatever we have done as of now, it's the same retain only, but this is a programmatic way in a clinical sector how we do. So proc sort data equal to data set name lab by u subject id lab test code and a visit 10 by so I'm just writing it here. So we need to make sure to sort the data in this all these columns. First one is u subject id, second one is lab test code, and third one is a visit 10. Three variables wise, let's sort the data first. That is the first intention. You have sorted the data and you created the data set name as a lab. You open it. See, this is the lab data set which you have created. Okay, what happened? All my visit wise 1 2 3 4 you got it, 1 2 3 you got it, and here it's a 1 2 3 4 you got it here somewhere here. Okay, RBC wise and WBC wise we have the values. So now this 300 to be carry forward here, this 30 to be carry forward to here and here. Then what we will do? We write it a program data, your data settling statement. First I will write it. I'll not write anything else. I'll try to keep it
Please, someone can mute.
mute. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Sorry, a data LOCF retain a retval. So instead of that you can write a value is anything, but I'm trying to get that retaining of my eval, because in this particular program what I'm doing in my lab, the eval value, the analysis value, I want to retain it. So that's the reason why the naming I have kept it somewhere as a retain eval. So that is the meaning of it. So I'm just writing as a retval. Instead of that you can write XYZ, and so any name also you can write it. That's up to you completely. Retain retval, I'm just writing it. Set lab by use subject id and all, I'm writing it. If first dot of your lab test code, what is the first dot of my lab test code? If you just see, this is my first dot of my lab test code. RBC wise the first dot means this one, WBC wise my first dot means this record. So that's what I'm talking about. First dot of my lab test code, then retain equal to missing. I'm forcefully writing my retain value as a missing, because what happens, if the value is missing in real time, okay, if the first record itself it is missing in real time, we don't want to carry forward that type of records in real time. We don't want it. Okay, imagine the first record itself, that means that is your baseline value. The patient baseline itself it is a missing. Change from baseline, how it happened, we can't able to calculate. We don't want it, that type of data. So make sure the baseline is present. So that's the reason why we are giving the initial value itself. If it is a making sure, we are making sure here in the program, if it is a first dot of my lab test code, forcefully we are making it as a missing. If eval not equal to missing, okay, retrieval equal to missing, we are making it. If eval not equal to missing, even the first record also it's not missing, then we are assigning that value to the retrieval. So automatically there will be one more variable created with the name of retrieval, and automatically wherever it is a missing in your retain, and that values, okay, let me just open my LOCF data set. So what happened? You see the next column here, the retrieval is a one more column created. So but all the values are filled. How it is? If my retain is 100, it is 100. So that means eval is 100 and retain also 100. Eval is 200, retain also 200. Eval is 300, retain also 300. But eval is missing. automatically my retain stores my previous value of 300 so that it is automatically carry forward here. So to here. So automatically this missing value failed. In this one, again, the first dot of my RBC values was, sorry, WBC values was 10 here. So it's not a missing. So that is carry forwarding. Carry forwarding, there is no doubt in that. But 30 after that we have missing value. The last latest non-missing value which is there in the data is 30. So that the 30 is carry forward to here and here. Right? So this is how we need to retain the missing value of my previous records to the next one. This is the concept of retain, how we do. This is the use on real time with this retain concept, and there are a lot of times we use retain in real time. So that's it. That's all about your retain concept today.